Hello there and Salam Sarawak Maju Makmur. You're now with me, Shal Chamato, for TVS English News at 5. Let's get to the headlines. The sacrifices of leaders past have opened the way for Sarawak to govern itself and decide its own future. In a souvenir book message in conjunction with the 60th anniversary of Sarawak's independence, Sarawak Premier Dr. Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Junaping said, in the 60 years that Sarawak has given the power to govern itself, the spirit of making the most of its freedom has never waned. It is even stronger now through the efforts of today's leaders and the support of the people of Sarawak. According to Abang Johari, the 60 years since independence was an era of making sure that the freedom attained means something to Sarawak and its people. He said the government under Gabungan Party Sarawak or GPS has set a clear path towards becoming a high-income state by 2030, the post-COVID-19 Development Strategy 2030, with coordinates of economic prosperity, social inclusivity and environmental sustainability. Abang Johari said Sarawak's success is clear when in contrast to other states in Malaysia as well as other regions in Southeast Asia. This achievement was made possible through the exploration of other promising economic resources such as the hydrogen economy, sustainable aviation fuel from algae and the new carbon trade. Hence, he urged for Sarawakians to strengthen its unity as sustainable economic growth can only be achieved in a peaceful and harmonious society and in a stable political landscape. Sarawak is committed to continue the legacy of past leaders and strengthening unity in the state. Premier Sarawak Dr. Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Junaping said in his text speech read by Sarawak Deputy Premier Dr. Ahmad Douglas Uga Ambas, said the establishment of the Unit for Other Religions or UNIFOR is a state initiative to ensure its aspirations can be felt among Sarawakian youth.
Social inclusivity is one of the three pillars of my administration to bring Sarawak into a developed and high-income region by 2030. Whatever development and socio-economic program and plan we have, we will ensure they will benefit everyone, everywhere in Sarawak.
He said this in his speech at the Thanksgiving prayer ceremony in conjunction with the 60th anniversary of Sarawak's independence on Friday. Also present was Sarawak Deputy Premier Dr. Sri Dr. Sim Gui Hian, Sarawak Deputy Minister of Utilities and Telecommunication Datuk Lee Wan Lagang, who is also Minister in charge of the 2023 Thanksgiving prayer ceremony for the Unit of Other Religions. According to him, the establishment of UNIFOR was a notable example of the social inclusivity in Sarawak. The proposal to designate 2 hospitals in Sarawak as regional hospitals is part of the government's agenda, as stated in the Malaysia Agreement 1963 or MA63. Deputy Health Minister Lukan Nisman Awang Sauni announced that the hospitals to be designated are the Mary Hospital and SIBU Hospital. Lukan Nisman explained that the Sarawak government will table the proposal to the Ministry of Health through the MA63 committee. At the same time, the MOH is evaluating any inadequacies and additional staff requirements of SIBU Hospital, especially in terms of expertise.
Dan juga kita sedang menunggu kedatangan doktor-doktor yang baru yang mendapatkan penempatan pertama selepas tamat kontrak ataupun digantikan dengan penjawatan tetap yang akan tiba sekurang-kurangnya 31 Julai. Dan di situ kita akan lihat di manakah kekurangan dan juga kelebihan yang ada dari sudut penjawatan.
The MOH is also committed to solving the shortage of experts, especially expert opticians in SIBU Hospital. In the meantime, his ministry acknowledged the urgent need to establish a new clinic and upgrade existing clinics in the area specifically for Class 3 clinics.
Ini saya telah minta Pegawai Kesihatan Bahagian untuk berbincang dengan pihak Land Survey dan juga Kerajaan Sarawak untuk melihat kesesuaian tapak tanah sebelum pihak KKM mengangkat cadangan ini. Kita turut meninjau keperluan-keperluan seperti peralatan aset-aset dan juga apabila kita memohon keperluan aset ini bukan hanya peralatan yang perlu kami sediakan tetapi mesti datang bersekali dengan penjawatan.
Lukan Isman was met after a work visit to the SIBU hospital on Thursday. During the work visit, he surveyed Medan SIBU Hospital, which became a model for Kuching and Miri divisions, especially when it came to handling the congestion brought about by COVID-19. Welcome back. Prime Minister Dato Sri Anwar Ibrahim today applauded the United Nations Human Rights Council or UNHRC resolution on countering religious hatred constituting incitement to discrimination, hostility or violence. This is in response to the Quran burning incident outside of Stockholm's Central Mosque during Eid al-Adha celebration. The UNHRC adopted the resolution on July 12, and amongst the 47 council members, 28 member states voted in favour of the resolution, including Malaysia, 12 against, while 7 abstained. However, Anwar in a statement today said it was unfortunate that for every progressive step taken against Islamophobia, a fire of hatred ignites among those who hide their heinous acts behind the mask of free speech and expression, as demonstrated by the dissenting member states. He said the disgraceful use of free speech as a shield leaves it vulnerable to abuse in order to justify hate and cruelty rather than opposing tyranny. Anwar also lauded the Swedish government for taking a firm stand against Islamophobia and was looking forward to seeing the Swedish police echo this stance as they carry out their investigation. The Prime Minister added Islamophobia is a poison that threatens Western nations as much as it threatens Muslims in whatever country they reside. North Korea said that the deployment of U.S. aircraft carriers, bombers or missile submarines in South Korea could meet criteria for its use of nuclear weapons. The comments from North Korean Defense Minister Kang Sun-nam raise the stakes as each side steps up displays of military force in a standoff over the isolated country's nuclear weapons and ballistic missile programs. The Defense Minister's statement also accused the United States and South Korea of escalating tensions in the region while criticizing the first meeting by their nuclear consultative group. Kang's remark was aimed at the nuclear-armed Ohio-class U.S. ballistic missile submarine that arrived at a port in the southern city of Busan earlier this week. South Korea's Ministry of National Defense said the NCG meeting and the deployment of the USS Kentucky were just defensive countermeasures against the North's nuclear and missile threats. The report came after a U.S. soldier crossed the border into North Korea on Tuesday at a time of heightened tension between the two Koreas and the United States. North Korea has yet to comment on the incident involving the U.S. soldier. And rescue teams resumed a search on Friday for possible survivors of a massive landslide in western India that killed 16 people and feared to have trapped more than 100 others. Land gave way in the middle of Thursday night in the remote mountain hamlet of Irshalwadi in the state of Maharashtra, flattening several houses and trapping many who lived there. Rescue teams wearing bright orange raincoats and carrying digging tools arrived at the scene on Friday as thick fog and heavy rain hampered already difficult rescue efforts.
एक बड़ी दुखद घटना हुई है वो बनी में हमारे क्योंकि भारी बरसात थी उसके कारण बहुत सारे मल्टीपल लोकेशन पे लैंडस्लाइड हुए हैं और कई जगह पे ज़मीन भी धंसी है पानी के कारण। इन लैंडस्लाइड्स में जो कंफर्म रिपोर्ट है 5 लोगों की मौत हुई है।
Multiple landslides also occurred in the state of Jammu and Kashmir on Wednesday, July 19, according to Rakesh Minhas, the district collector of Kathua, where a bridge was damaged, causing severe disruptions to traffic. Flash floods, landslides and accidents caused by heavy rain have killed more than 100 people in India since the onset of the monsoon season on June 1, mostly in the north, which has been 41% more rain than normal, according to the India Meteorological Department. And First Nation communities of Canada have raised a move to go against Ontario's government's decision that will enable mining at a protected area known as the Ring of Fire, without proper consultation over environmental concerns and potential land encroachment by mining companies. About 100 protesters marched outside the building of Ontario's Ministry of Mines with placards showing "No more mining."
The fact that they're planning and they're doing these things without our consent, without our full involvement of our people, then that's very problematic. And it's clear that this demonstration of their approach clearly indicates that they're not willing to respect our rights. They're not willing to respect the rights of our people back home. And I think the people will stand up. And this is a start of what we're trying to do here, to raise awareness about what's been happening in our homelands. We intend to continue to fight and to make sure that our traditional homelands are protected, not just for today, but for future generations.
The area, located in northern Ontario at a remote area of James Bay lowlands, is rich with minerals such as copper, cobalt and nickel. They are considered critical for Canada to reduce its metal reliance on China as the country aspires to construct greener projects for a more sustainable economy. Last year, the Ontario government threatened to use force by wrecking Indigenous lands if resistance persists, which has triggered more protests. The next one is set to take place in September.
The government is using climate change and environmental protection as an excuse to mine on Indigenous territories for precious metals. And I think that it's important we all come out and show support for Indigenous peoples having a say about their own land and their own territory. I am very concerned about, in general, the Canadian government not doing anything, and they don't have a great track record of respecting Indigenous rights. So I think that instead of empty words, we need strong action as soon as possible.
And that's all the time we have for TVS News at 5. I'm Shol Shameto in conjunction with the Sarawak Day celebration. See you this weekend.